This is not what it looks like. I'm not eating Hershey's Kisses. No. Okay, they're just so good. They're just so tasty. I'm sorry. After you've seen the amazing Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie, okay, I can't help but eat so much chocolate. This is too good. Well, I suppose I better do the review then. Alright. Let's get to it. Alright, first experience. This one is a little nostalgia for me because this was the very first Tim Burton movie that I ever saw in cinemas. Obviously at that point I had no idea who he was. But I wanted to see this movie for quite a while because obviously in my childhood I love Roald Dahl. Like, he is, like, I read a lot of his books, if not all of them. So, and, like, I'm gonna be honest, the one that came out in the original version, I'm really sorry. If you like it, fine, but as a child and as an adult, it didn't do anything for me. I think, yeah, I think it's maybe because of the same reason that Roald Dahl, like, he said that he did not like the original. In fact, it actually angered him a little bit because for me as an audience viewer, loving the book and everything, in fact I still own my copy, is he didn't really had the spirit of the book. Like, it's sort of like it was working against it a little bit, and so I finally saw the trailer for Tim's version, and I got really, really excited because I really wanted to see another attempt at trying to tell the story, and it did it for me in such a great way. Like, as a kid, being a huge fan of Roald Dahl, this is the best that I could ask for this book, so obviously I will get to that in the review. So, as much trivia as we can about chocolate, here's 10. Cadbury's are closed down. No, they're officially off the list of, like, top, what is it, 20 businesses in the UK? I don't know, I can't remember.
No,
along with Marks and Spencer's. Carry on.
Right. Tim stated that his favourite chocolate is dark. I agree. Dark chocolate is the best. That's my favourite.
As the Hairspray song goes, the darker the chocolate, the richer the taste. And that's where it's at.
It's at 85%, that's just evil.
Well, that's just, I don't know how you can eat that.
I don't know how I ate it either. Nestle provided 1,850 bars of chocolate.
Yep. I'm surprised if any of the actors didn't gain weight from this, but you know. Anyway.
40 squirrels were trained for attack and Veruca Salt. I'm surprised by that, I didn't know that, I thought they were CGI.
Some of them were, and some of them were animatronics. I got that word right. But no, they had, 40 squirrels in total.
Yeah, now, question to everyone, how the hell do you train squirrels? Other than nuts.
A lot of time. It takes a lot of time. But, go to work, squirrels! We love you!
Yeah, round of applause for squirrels.
Do you know what that's making me think of? Squirrel? Squirrel!
Squirrel! As a child, Johnny Depp was allergic to chocolate.
Wow.
I must admit, that wouldn't kill me if I was. I wouldn't mind that. So I'd be quite happy to be allergic to chocolate.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. As my mother says.
I couldn't live with it, but...
Practicing your scales then. The braces Willy Wonka wore in the flashback were a reference to Tim's own childhood. That is sad.
They talked about how his head never really reached the pillow when he was lying down because the braces were the one. I would have no idea what it's like because I've never worn braces.
Oh no, tire tracks?
Train tracks.
Train tracks, even. They're alright, but it's a bit awkward. It pushes your lips out like a fish.
Yeah. Okay, so why did this version work for me and not the original? Okay, well, for one thing, it's visual. There's no doubt about it. It's Tim Burton. Obviously, the production design is gonna be absolutely fantastic. And what I even love, like, the build-up to it. The fact that I love the idea that the outside world was kind of in snow, and we went to different locations where all the kids came from, and so it felt like a whole world was searching for these tickets, and it sort of felt like it was kind of very, the snow kind of made it look very kind of sort of toned down and kind of almost kind of black and white, and then suddenly you're in the factory. And actually, yeah, Tim said it was kind of like the Wizard of Oz kind of thing. It was that sort of feel to it. And I even love the design of the bucket house. The fact that, yeah, it really looked like they were having hard times. Just the fact that it was lopsided, but at the same time it sort of created this kind of cozy feel, because this sort of warm feel, because obviously the family, that was pretty much all they had. And you sort of had that feeling that, yeah, Charlie really cares about his family. And I love that each stage of the factory was so new. It had a new thing to it. It like kept on surprising you, and it just kept building, and I absolutely love that. And the Oompa Loompas, my god. I mean, the songs, Danny Elfman, great. Like, it was fantastic. I think they were pretty much based on what Rolf said, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's yeah, it's pretty much there. Obviously they had to cut down a few things, but yeah. So pretty much it's from the book. But they made the music fit the style of each area, and it just kept building, like, yeah. And this is going back to the original, so I'm making a comparison. I did not like the Oompa Loompas for the original. While they did look like the illustrations, I'll give them that. But they were so boring. They just, I think I fast forward most of the time. I was like, oh my god, they're singing again, fast forward. But with this one I was like, oh my goodness, like, I'm really entertained by these songs. And they had a different style, and it just, it was just amazing. And yeah, exactly. And okay, what else is there? Speaking of the songs, this is one of my favorite scores. So Danny Elfman, you did an amazing job. So, you know, and the reason why I say this is that looking back, when I was a kid, I loved the music anyway. And so as a kid, you know, it started making me realize, like, how important music is to a film. And so from a kid's point of view, that's pretty good. So, and the main titles, oh my god, I could listen to that all day. And I know I've mentioned this 1,000 times before, but I'm going to say it again. When I was at the Roll Out the Hole, the music of Tim Burton, they had the main title, the opening titles from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory as their very, very first piece. And they had, like, the kind of, you know, the film strips of the films that they've done together, and it was just like, yeah, you're about to enter a world, like a whole different world, and that's pretty much what the whole thing is. Okay, let's go to characters now. Okay, characters. So, I love the children in this. They did a brilliant job. They were so funny, and what I love about it, they were so much more mean-spirited. Like, they were actually interacting with each other and kind of, you know, kind of acting like they're getting along, but they really hate each other. I really like that, and the fact that they actually sort of make fun of Charlie, so he's a little bit more involved. And, you know, but they're still very funny, and they're so entertaining, and you can just see that they're having so much fun with it, and, you know, and it was fantastic. Then, and not only that, the parents were much more involved. I found the parents entertaining, and most of the time when you're reading the book or watching the original, you're more involved with the children, but actually the parents were fascinating in this one, in the movie version. And then the Bucket family, oh my goodness, I loved the grandparents. I knew, trying to think of her name now. Oh my god, Liz Smith? No? I'm trying to remember. Who was it? I think she was, Grandma Georgina or something, I think. Like, I've known her from a few sitcoms, so I knew her, and the grandparents were amazing. Like, and you got this kind of relationship between Charlie and Grandpa Joe, and I really liked that, you know. It kind of reminds me of my relationship with my granddad, and so it kind of reminded me of that. And yeah, again, like I said before, they just created so while they're in this horrible shack, they just made it more like a home rather than just like a really nice place to live. And then we got Charlie, and I think Charlie, it's kind of, I always think that, you know, when reading the book, you know, I will be honest, he's not the most fascinating character, but he's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be seeing the factory through his eyes. You know, so there's nothing too much special about him, but I think what Freddie Highmore did was pretty good, because the one thing that he really got was how much he cares about his family. And so obviously that created a new twist at the end, which obviously I'll go into in a minute. Okay, so I think he did really, really well. And again, there was a lot of silent acting coming from him. So when he got the ticket, you were like, you know, you got the kind of, oh my god, like, I'm holding it right now. Like, you know, kind of reminds me when I got the ticket to the Royal Albert Hall concert. I was like, oh my god! You know, it was like that, you know, and what was the thing that I liked? Okay, then let's get on to, I've already talked about the other ones. Let's talk about Johnny Depp's Willy Wonka. Now, I've had a lot of arguments for and against his performance. Now, sometimes most of the arguments against it are from people that can't get past the fact that it's Johnny Depp. Fair enough, there are some actors that you can't get past the fact that they are. Like, I have problems with Leonardo DiCaprio, Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Hugh Grant. You know, I can't get past the fact that they're the actors. Some people can, I can't. So, but, you know, because of the kind of roles that Johnny Depp plays, I always see him in a performance. So, you know, but if you can't get past the fact that it's him, fair enough, that's just you. Now, the thing is, obviously, I'm trying to think back to when I was a kid, and I was watching this for the first time, and I actually went with my mom, and, you know, and she was aware of the original, because, you know, she showed it to me and everything, and so she went with me to the cinema, and she said to me, you know what, I think Johnny Depp's performance just made it so much more entertaining to watch, you know. So what I really get down to, and this is going from, so like when I'm reading the book, you get like a lot of, you know, there's that build-up of the character, and you're thinking, my god, this is a fascinating character, this is like, you know, when I'm reading the book, I kind of think to him like a mad genius kind of a thing, and so, you know, and very fascinating, and, you know, he is the most fascinating character in the book, and so what I liked about Johnny Depp's performance is that, yeah, he pretty much got a mad genius, he's weird, but at the same time, like, I'm thinking of a little bit of the logic side where, okay, if he's locked himself up for so many years and he's surrounded by Oompa Loompas, it wouldn't go a little bit crazy, you know, like, yeah, and I liked the whole kind of, and what I loved about his performance is that, and this goes to the spirit of the book as well, is that Roald Dahl, and this isn't just Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, this is pretty much all his books, Matilda, James the Giant Peach, The Twits, you know, when it goes on and on and on. He has this mixture of light and dark, and so as a kid I really liked that. So, you know, with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, obviously there's the lightness of the factory and the sort of wonder that it is, but there is that dark side, which obviously, you know, the children, you know, get you know, punished for it. You know, the attack of the squirrels, getting trapped in the pipe, you know, blowing up like a bluebird. You know, it's like that sort of thing. There's that mixture of light and dark, and what I loved about Johnny Depp's performance is that it helped it throughout the story, and that's also from the production design as well. There was that sort of kind of, yeah, it looks amazing, but there's this kind of underlining about all of it. There's that kind of, you know, and Johnny Depp did that really well, so it's kind of, you know, that's what I get behind it. And then we have the new twist that was added to the book. Now, again, like I said, some people are kind of like, why are you focusing on Willy Wonka and not Charlie, because it's okay, like I said before, Charlie, it's through Charlie's eyes, you know, it's kind of like he's telling the story, and So therefore, that would make Wonka the most interesting character. And to be honest, Charlie, I don't think he needs a bit of a history. We do know why his family aren't doing so well. We get that the family loves each other and everything. We don't know that much about Willy Wonka, and because he's the most fascinating character, it's kind of like, you want to kind of know a little bit more about him. Like, you know, all the way through my childhood, I was kind of like, yeah, how did he end up as a chocolate maker? How did he make, how was he inspired by it? Because, you know, I was asking myself that. We get these answers in the film, and it's a really, really well done story, and it's believable. And what I liked about it is the fact that there's also that kind of explanation of why he's also a little bit more crazy, because of his dysfunctional relationship with his father. And I liked that. It sort of, it gave something a little bit new. So like, you know, at the end of the story when Charlie actually refuses to go to the factory, you know, as a kid I was kind of like, what? Like, why? Why are you refusing? And I was like, you know, it just it gave me something new, because I know the story really, really well. I've read it so many times as a kid, and finally I got something new from it, and it didn't feel like it was kind of working against the movie. It was working for it, and it was lovely, and it gave another message about, it gave another moral, because we pretty much know the moral anyway. So it just gave something new. And so I think, as you know, a lot of people see Tim's one as a remake. I don't. I see it as a retelling, and to be honest, a more truthful. It captures the spirit of Roald Dahl. It had so much from the book, but adding something new for film audiences. The performances, it's just a great film, and I absolutely love it. I think it's very underrated now. I do remember there was a lot of hype for it when it came out, but it's a shame that people are forgetting it now. But, you know, it's really, just see it again, and just look at it from, yeah, just look at it from what I've said, and I think, yeah. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next review. Bye!